Hello, everybody. I'm going to show you a quick video on how to access the materials for the R course and also to run an installation script that will help us get prepared for course 1. So this is our Sakai site. It's not published yet, but it will be in a couple of days. And there are instructions for installing R here, and you need to install both R and Rstudio. When you click on this link, it looks like this. And so it shows you where to get R and Rstudio. If you haven't downloaded R in a long time, it's probably a good idea to reinstall it, which means you're going to update R to the most recent version. So go ahead and follow these instructions if you have had R for a while and haven't updated. Though one thing to note is if you do update R and it's been a while, it's probably going to remove all of your packages and you'll have to reinstall them. Just something to be aware of. And so there's instructions on installing Rstudio for different operating systems. This is what the box will look like in Rstudio. And once you have everything, you can open Rstudio with this icon. It should look similar on both a Mac and a PC. And so hopefully most of you already have that downloaded. And so once you do, you're going to click on this link, which shows you where all the course materials will live. And I'll continue to update this for each class. So right now we have one for class 1. It should look like this when you click on that link. And you can download the whole thing, but I'm just going to download this folder, part 1. So I click on part 1, and then I download the whole folder. And so I have a Mac. So this is what happens when you have a Mac. It downloads this part1.zip. And then I'm going to open that on my other screen. So I have all of my files here that were in that folder. And the way I'm going to open this in Rstudio is to double click on this file here. So project@rproj. And that should, if I have Rstudio installed, open Rstudio. Let me move it to this screen. And you can then, it will look a little different on your screen. Probably you have different windows in different orders. That's all personalizable, and we'll talk about that during class, but look for the panel that has the files. And so what I want you to do is open this file, this 00 install.r file. And that is going to have all of the information we need to start class with all the packages we're going to use for the first couple weeks. And so you can rearrange panels with this dragging around the bar here, which I need to do because I can't really see this. And so the way you can run this is you can run the whole thing by clicking this button up here, source, or you can run each line at a time by either keyboard shortcuts, which we'll go over in class, or if you click on the line you want to run and click run, that will run that package. And so often when installing packages, R is going to ask you this question. So do you want to restart? Usually when you press yes, this works okay. Sometimes it doesn't, and you get kind of stuck in this loop and you have to keep pressing yes. If that happens, just press no and try it anyway and see if it works. And so I'm installing this package Pacman. I get some orange messages. You might get some red or other scary looking messages, but that's okay. These aren't errors. Nothing bad is happening. This actually worked. And so I installed that package, and then I'm running this next line, and we can see that it's taking a while. I have Tidyverse installed, which is a package in R that contains a lot of different packages. If you don't have that installed, or if it's been a while since you've installed it, this is forcing an update. It's going to take a long time, like several minutes. So just wait it out. Hopefully you don't see too many error messages. If it's downloading anything, you're going to see a lot of messages like this. So just wait until it's done. And then this code down here is somewhat optional. If you want to knit our markdown files, which we'll talk about in class, to PDFs, you can run this and this will let it work on your computer. Not totally required, but something that you can try out. But again, if you just want to run this full document, just click this source button. If you do have trouble or any errors, feel free to email me or message me on Slack and I can try and troubleshoot with you. I'm also going to show you in PC. I have access to a PC on a server just because sometimes it looks a little different and you have to worry about some things. So let's see. Let me undo. I have too many screens here. So what we want to do is go to that link again. That's not the right one. Let's see. This link. Just to show you, because there's a difference with how PCs deal with zipped files. So this is part one. Again, I'm downloading the part one folder. It's going to put it somewhere in my, I guess my downloads folder. And one thing to show you is I did this earlier, and if you notice, it still has this little icon that's telling me it's compressed. So if I go into this and try and double click on the project file, we can see Rstudio opens that project, but there's no files in there. And you can see the strange temp 6 thing going on, and that's telling me that it's not unzipped properly. So you really need to make sure that you've unzipped or extracted everything in that folder. So what I'm going to do is right click and then press extract all, and then I'm going to extract it in the same folder. And so now looking at my downloads folder, I have both the extracted and then the compressed zipped folder. So make sure you're not compressing your work. And so now if I click on our project, it should show me all the files that I have in that folder, which is great. And so now I can click install packages. We'll see if I have permission to even install packages on this server, but we'll see what errors we get. So if I click the source button, I'm just going to try. It's asking me, do I want to restart R? Sure, yes. And we can see again, we're getting some warning messages and some error messages. And so that worries me a little bit. I'm going to try running one line at a time. So install packages, pacman. Yes, again, it likes to ask me that question. That worked. It's telling me where it's installing. It's giving me a warning, but all this out successfully unpacked and telling me where it is a good sign. That means it is installed. And then I'm going to run the next line, because I have a feeling it's the tidy tech code that's not going to work for me on this server. Yes, and that is fine. All of these warnings are fine. They won't be updated. That's because I've already downloaded them at some point. Everything is good. The last thing that it's trying is this tiny tech part, which again, I said is optional. And I think because we have restricted access, it might not appreciate that. No, it seems to be working. Might have been something with the source button that wasn't working. But you can tell that things are working because nothing says error. Previously, I saw one line said something about error in the console. And so that prompted me to rerun everything just to make sure everything's going. And so I reran each line, one line at a time, by clicking the run button. And you can also highlight code and run that if you wanted to run just part of it, just so you know. All right, so once you have that, you should have also these other files. During class, we're going to talk about our markdown file. So when we start class, you should have this folder open and open this file. There's also the assignment in here. So you'll have that for your first homework assignment. And that should be everything. Good luck.